Scorpio, let's see what is happening in September. So what we can see coming up, I have to go under 10 minutes because that's the YouTube standard. You're actually penalized for going more. But guys, if you go on my Instagram, Cat Tarot, at Cat Tarot, you can get also the daily tarot. And if you come every second week, I have live. So make sure that you're subscribed to my social media so you get the advanced notifications. And if you didn't subscribe, so far subscribe. This is crazy. It's 3 out of 3. This card is coming through and it is your card. So you guys are going to really, really dominate. And I really think it's a one big freaking ramp up. We are going through Virgo. It's not really your sister sign, right? But we are going to Libra, which is air sign. But Libra and Scorpio are actually really compact. They really kind of work together. And full equinox on almost February, on September 22nd, which is the Libra season when it starts. Also, Mercury enters Scorpio. So it's going to be talk about relationships. It's going to be talk about emotions. It's going to be talk about what we want and how we really want to get there, right? So that is going to be really, really important. So let's see. Scorpio. On the bottom of the deck, we have 10 on fire. You're on fire, and I really think because it's a 10, it really talks about that maybe there is a buildup of something and you're not satisfied anymore. Maybe somebody keeps coming with excuses. Maybe somebody's just doing same old. You're kind of really tired of placemats for something. You really want something deeper, and maybe it's going to be a fiery situation that is going to bring certain things to surface. This card also very often talks about secrets resurfacing. Sometimes you get in an explosive situation, you push somebody out of their way, or it's something stressful and things get revealed, and that really can be one of these months, right? So then we have 7 of Earth. This really talks about patience, as you can tell. And this patience should be in abundance. And it's really advised to you that is coming through. Patience, patience, patience. It's going to happen, but it might not happen the way you want it. So you just have to keep your eye on a goal. It's very important. And it's really telling you, it's almost like a promise of things that will happen, that will come. But it's really telling you, hey, you know what? Don't abandon it, right? For one thing or another. Sorry, I just had to on it, just I was not sure if it's connected. And then we have the Empress reversed. Maybe that whole waiting is getting on your nerves. Maybe you're getting impatient. Maybe you think somebody might tell you that you feel entitled. You're going to maybe get that kind of review. So be prepared on it. Be prepared to say what you want. It kind of seems to me that you want comfort of home, comfort of cushy emotional exchanges. You really want to kind of be treated and maybe treat somebody at the same time, but you're getting a little bit wary of waiting. That I really see over here. Then we have a 7 of fire. So now we have 2 sevens. This is clearly a spiritual situation that is really happening over here. So 7 of fire, it's kind of feeling it's feeling that you're a little bit unclear why certain things are happening, because you kind of feel that you have it in your pocket, that something already worked and that something already has resolved, and you're why am I in this situation again? And you're almost angry that you're going through it. This could be also work situation. And sometimes at work you're saying how many times I need to tell you the same thing, oh my god, we've been through it, that kind of stuff, right? And in the past we see sea kitten. So Page of Cups, it's reversed. Maybe there was some kind of rejection. This can also talk about a child. Maybe you have an issue with a child. Maybe there's a teenager. It could be some kind of emotional, clearly immaturity, that there's something that cannot be expressed, or maybe it was somebody blocked you out, or you blocked somebody out, or you had to kind of discipline something, right? That sort of things kind of I see over here. what is above you, and we see 10 of C reversed. You're like putting on appearances, and you're really good at it, right? You know, like they say, I don't really necessarily like this expression, but they say fake it until you make it. Kind of like, but the attitude behind it is like that you're already behaving as if, which is kind of like what's changed, how we vibrate, right? Like we are stardust, we are connected to the stars, and like once when you kind of like go in a different frequency and different vibration, like my energy sessions are all about changing the frequency in people, right? So people are depressed and they just go through my sessions, and all of a sudden, like, I mean, they feel optimistic, and all of a sudden they feel like, well, you know, it's really not that bad. I was like in doldrums, but I'm not anymore, right? I was blind, but now I can see. Like the same thing goes with lovey-dovey energy, like, oh, it's not going to happen to me, but all of a sudden you're saying like, why not, kind of a thing, right? So you're putting the appearances over here, and like, and I can see here, maybe you're feeling a little bit iffy when it comes to home and relationship. Maybe certain things kind of like happen over the end of like the last month that were a little bit unsettling, but you're like not losing your cool. You're just saying, no, it's all good. I kind of like you're behaving as everything is just absolutely fine. And there is like this motion forward. There is like the Chariot showing up. It's yet another 7, so we have 3 7s. When 7s start to appear as frequent as this, it is like a clear indication that you have to really watch that everything you do is in the highest good of all. So if you have your higher spirit, right, don't use shortcut, but use your higher spirit to tell you what is doable. Like maybe, let's give you a situation. You want marriage and the other person is still very on the fence, or maybe not even sure if they would ever do that, or maybe they communicated, they don't feel comfortable with this, but like now it is black and white situation. It's almost like an impasse. So instead of like pushing or manipulating, because we fix signs, we kind of like build these systems and people almost like have to go for it. You need to really ask yourself if this is the best for you, if this is best for everybody in the situation, and all of a sudden solution will appear because the Chariot is upright. So that is really important. And let's put this card that we had on the bottom. So in your house we have 5 of Sky. Yes, you're feeling edgy over something, right? And 5s are always strife, and 7s can mean strife. 7 means kind of like fighting our own conscience, fighting guilt, fighting also for what we want and where we should be. So it can be a whole bunch of things, right? But here, look at it. There is a Sphinx kitty that nobody wants around, and like, I mean, and he's like asking himself why. And it's like really nothing that this Sphinx kitty did, because the other cats are alley cats. They're like thrown out on the street. They had to fend for themselves, and just don't try these elites, kind of like a thing. So you're not buying into something. You're just not buying, like you're saying this is too good to be true, and you have kind of like all your senses alert, right? And this is your environment, the cat. Somebody wants a fresh start, right? Something was revealed. Maybe pause was placed into it, right? Remember, we did get deaths, but now it's this new beginning. It's the cat. It's kind of like, let's smell the roses. Let's do something new. Let's go in this new direction. Your hopes and fears is 2 of Fire. So you're standing just wondering, this is the last thought. It's almost like you prepared everything. Let's say you had to prepare the essay for school, and you prepared it and you rehearsed it, and now it is just going through your head, mental notes, everything. What do I need to do, right? So there's like something in your life that you're just about to embark. You're kind of like doing the last mental checkup before you really go. It is like some new beginnings, maybe like somebody is approaching you that they want they want to be back with you, right? Maybe you felt maybe it's better for me to be single, or like, because the Chariot can also be single. It can be very harsh at times, right? But this card doesn't indicate singleness. So that kind of like tells me usually it must be game playing, must be somebody saying something that is not necessarily true, right? Well, no, I really don't necessarily want a relationship, and all you want is relationship. That sort of things, right? Maybe just not to be too desperate, maybe simply kind of like you don't want to jump in a fry that is like the same old, same old. So there is like this kind of like sorting things out, kind of like for the last thing. And look at this, you have these two twos. There is like indecision in the situation. Both cards are very, very similar. Shall I stay? Shall I go? Which way the wind blows? But this is all to me indicating, remember how I said in the beginning, it's going to be September 22nd. It's going to be fall equinox. But just before the fall equinox, you're going to have new moon on September 17th. Which also has 7 in it. It's not necessarily 7, it's 8. But I really think around September 16th, 17th, certain things are going to be revealed to you. And as they reveal, you're going to have a little bit more information that you can make kind of like better decision. Because this is making decision through your thoughts, and this is making a decision through your action, but you're still thinking through these actions. So these are really, really high energy where you're kind of going to jump and pounce, right? So just want to check why is this 10 of C reversed over here. And the reason is, again, yeah, sadness and proud. Like, I mean, it could be like that somebody hurt you. And when you hurt Scorpio, you don't necessarily know it because you appear to be so strong. But, you know, you're asking other people to be vulnerable. You need to be vulnerable. This is really telling me you are like so proud. You're not willing to do that. So guys, what can I tell you? Don't be a Scorpio, at least for a month, because there is like somebody here who really needs the true communication, who really needs you not to be quote unquote winning, who really needs you to engage. You're getting lots of indications about that, right? Now let me see, the advice is flirt. That's right. When you flirt, well, I guess you can control, but it says extend your lighthearted energy to others. It's really asking for lightness. It's really asking you not to make big deals, not to make big plans. Something monumental is happening. Some big shift in energy is going to happening. There's a new cycle happening where it means it doesn't have to necessarily be the same old, same old. So don't get in your own way, Scorpio. Okay, I think I said it to somebody else. I think probably Cancer is the last month. But now I'm going to say this right in the title. Patience. Patience. Do not get in your way. Things will happen, but they'll happen in their own time. So there it is, Scorpio. That's September. But don't forget my Instagram at Cat Tarot. You can get your daily dose of tarot. You can join my newsletter. I send some stuff there. You can find how to join my newsletter, as well as how to get your reading on my website, which is cattarot.ca. Yeah, I mean, I'm still open for the readings, so just check it on the website, different options, or simply contact me via any of my social media. And in the meantime, again, guys, do not get in your own way. It's not important to win this month because it's not going to be a win-win. And as long as you don't have win-win, you're not going to get the true win. So just allow others to maybe run the show for a change. Okay, guys? Love you. Would love to hear from you. And I wish you really all the best.